If somebody said to me, Angel, what do you think the problem is with black men and black women? What do you think the issue is? I spoke about this yesterday or a few days ago when I talked about epigenetics and how trauma and stress and depression can be passed on genetically. Everything boils down to power, whether you can protect or not. For one moment, I'm going to look at both sides. The black man is oppressed. The white man has taken away his power, his ability to provide and protect his women. When we go deeper into history, that ability to protect your woman, to stop your woman from being raped, from being abused, from being murdered, from having her children kidnapped, some sisters would say, why didn't black men protect us during slavery? This boils down to conditioning. It's the lion and the elephant in the circus. The lion and the elephant have all the power and all the strength to destroy the circus, but they don't. Why? Because they've been conditioned. They believe that the keepers has all the power, has the control, is stronger. They have been conditioned to not believe they have the strength. They've been brainwashed, they've been conditioned, they've been trained, so that's why they don't go, screw this, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. During slavery, we were conditioned to believe white man is God, to believe that the white man is all powerful, to believe that we were less than, how to control the Negro, how to control the slave, using Christianity. All of this was put in place in order to brainwash people and to control them. Of course, there was revolts, and the revolts played a huge role in us actually getting our freedom. It was the integral part. But when you've been conditioned, it doesn't matter if you've got numbers. If you believe that you are weaker, if you believe that the white man is strong and has all the power, you've lost that battle. But this was part of the plan. You can't blame our ancestors for feeling this way because they were conditioned and brainwashed to feel this way. Of course, there's the aspect of guns. Oh, but if I retaliate and I kill this slave master, I start a revolt, but I'm probably going to get killed anyway. So this plays a huge role. Today in 2018, protecting black women isn't so much about stopping master from raping and killing black women. It's now about money. With money comes power. Yes, there are situations when our sisters are being physically abused, physically hurt, and we need to defend them physically and even verbally in some cases. But a lot of times, this ability to protect has been taken from us because of the lack of power. You will have black women that see the position that the black man is in and may feel a type of way. Why are you not protecting us like other races? Why are you not stepping up to the plate like other races of men? If a black man is being oppressed and they're being thrown in jail, they're being stopped from doing this and that, and that keeps them down, you may have sisters that don't understand the plan, don't understand the conditioning, don't understand why this has been set in place, and would react and would say, you know what, you're good for nothing, you ain't shit, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. When you have a man, and this is any man, when you have a man that feels that his power has been taken from him, that feels that he does not have respect from his woman, and his woman doesn't see him as a man, as a leader, as a king, that's detrimental to that man. That psychologically, that affects that man in a major way. So he becomes bitter and he becomes angry. Sometimes we're angry at ourselves because we can't do this. Sometimes we're angry at the system. So now what happens? You get the case of the oppressed becoming the oppressors. So now in order to feel, and sometimes it's subconscious, you don't even realize that we're doing it, in order to feel that we can somehow get back some sort of power, we'll oppress those that we deem have less power than us. During slavery, there were slaves that were being oppressed, but they had a little bit of power over other slaves. What did they do? They oppressed those that had less power. You had the mammies that would be in charge of the female slaves and would oppress them. You had certain overseers that were slaves that would oppress other slaves. So the power gets to their head. They don't have power against anybody else, so they'll oppress those that they feel have less power than them. So in turn, this psychological effect that you're feeling like, I have no power, I'm being seen as all of these negative things, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to oppress my women because they can't oppress me, and it's going to make me feel like a man, and it's going to make me feel like I have power. Sometimes when we look at those that are oppressed, they equate power and liberation to being on the same level as their oppressors. So if I can become like my oppressors, then I'm now getting power. I'm now getting liberation. Some people genuinely think this. So they'll start attacking and shouting at black women and treating black women wrong. Throughout, you'll see how the white man treats his woman, and the black man's like, okay, and I see how the white man treats black women, so I need to be like that also. It starts bleeding into hip hop, TV, all of this, yeah, you ain't nothing but a hoe, a bitch, a trick, and all this stuff, all of that. That all comes part and parcel of me saying, this is power now. This is how I'm oppressing you. You're less than me. It becomes a way of trying to shift that power dynamics because these are the people that are being oppressed who now think I got to oppress you. So you have a group of women who then feel a type of way because, of course, you're treating us badly, you're talking badly about us. So now we're going to react. And then you get what these men are talking about when they say, yeah, but you guys got on daytime television and dogged us and said that we wasn't shit. And you was dogging black men all the way through. So you have to understand both sides of the argument. You didn't realize that we were a product of our environment. We were a product of conditioning. So what that did is it makes those brothers even more bitter and even more angry. Because for the sisters, when the sisters got on TV and were expressing themselves, they were expressing themselves based on the black man's action. The black man was a victim of circumstance. Within that situation, he was a victim of circumstance. He was a victim of his environment. He was a victim of his oppressor. She's looking at it as, you're oppressing me. You're not treating me right. You're leaving me with the kids. You're leaving me to fend for myself. And then you're calling me a bitch. So I'm going to express myself. And within that era, some of these sisters would not have looked at it as like he was just playing his part as a pawn in that system who has been conditioned. So now he looks at her as she's attacking me. I'm already being destroyed. I'm already being put down. I'm already being oppressed. I'm already a victim of my circumstance. And now my woman is trying to destroy me even further. You see how both sides are looking at it. And then they retaliate. And then you get this culture of online and on social media, oh, black women are this, black women are that. And they start attacking black women. So now, got to pass the blame now. The reason for the downfall of the black community is the black woman. And the reason for all these boys doing this is because black women won't let us be fathers and because of child support and this and that. And of course, you have people like me that look at it and say, but if black women did the same thing that you did and walked away from the household, well, those kids will be even more screwed. And then we start talking about making better decisions, but we have to go even further back. So now the sisters retaliate again and they start saying, I'm sick and tired of black men getting on their soapbox and doing this and doing that and doing that and screaming and shouting and telling us that we're this and not giving a fuck about us. So you see, sometimes we have to go all the way down the line. We can start from today, where we're at today, and go backwards. Let's go 5 years. Let's go 10 years. Let's go 20 years and see everything that was happening and look at the reasons behind it. When we talk about cause and effect and we talk about the origins of the problems, it all goes down to that very beginning and how it started and how we were conditioned to hate each other based on black men having a lack of power, black men being unable to protect their women, the animosity. And then when you move further into today, that inability to protect is financial. And we could say, oh, but there are black men that they can provide and they got money and they got this. But let's not talk about the few. Let's talk about on a large scale. We know about the system. We know about prison. We know about the jails. We know about the government, housing. We know how this goes. Let's look at it differently. I spoke to you guys before about the interracial agenda and the lack of melanin, how it can make you infertile. There's another reason for that. It's about money. The interracial agenda is about money. Remember I said about being able to protect. What protection means and what protecting means back then and what it means today. There are two dynamics that have large spending powers, are white men and black women. I made a video once where I talked about black men screaming and shouting and attacking black women and how it doesn't work. And I said, if we understand that unity comes from financial and economic empowerment, socioeconomic mobility and independence, then we know that black women hold the purse strings in the community. They do. Black men will have their money, but black women will be the ones that decide in a family home what food is going to be bought, where we get our groceries, the clothing that the children wear. So because they're the ones making the decisions with where we spend the money. So I said, if you don't want black women to spend money with the Asian man, be it on hair products, hair, whatever, and you want to build this socioeconomic empowerment, it doesn't make sense for you to scream and shout at black women and say, you're stupid, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, you need to try and educate them and teach them and show them and give them your reasons behind it for those that may not know. And there are sisters that know and they teach the brothers the same things. It doesn't make sense to scream and shout. So black women they're holding the purse strings because they make the decisions on where that money is getting spent within the household, within the families. White men also have a spending power, a large spending power. So the media says if white men have a large spending power and black women have a large spending power, and we portray images of black women and white men together in happy relationships consistently and push this out, well, that's going to condition people to think about getting in interracial relationships. But why? Because now you've got the black woman's money and the white man's money, and it becomes about spending. And all these companies and all the media programs that push the interracial agenda, all about money. And then when you look at the dysfunctional image that they portray of black love and black couples, because of course they don't want black people to be together. Because if black people are together, then black people are going to spend their money together. And if they're then waking up to the plan and how it has been done, then they'll spend their money within the community. So if you get the two dynamics, they have large spending powers, white men and black women, and push them together, they'll spend together, they'll spend more. That's a media plan. And so if somebody had said to me, what is the disconnect between black women and black men? I would have given you the answer that I gave you. Sometimes we're so angry and we're so frustrated and we're so hurt that we can't look and see a plan that is being played in front of us and that we are victims of circumstance, situations. I'm not taking blame from black men. I suggest that black women be aware of this and black men be aware of this. Be aware that you are nothing but pawns in this game. Sisters, you need to understand that some of these brothers have been conditioned from birth. And if you say, oh no, but if you're talking about slavery, this is 2018. If each generation follows the exact same path, then the offspring are going to follow that path also. And people say, oh, but we were married in the 50s and the 60s and this and that. Malcolm X said himself, the black woman is the least protected. In his time, in his era, he said the same thing. So obviously there was an issue at that time also. So we can talk about in the 70s and the crack era and this and when they threw the men out of the house, but these issues were still happening. Black women not being protected was still happening, but this is all part of a plan. How do you destroy the black family? How do you destroy the black home? You take away that man's power, his ability to protect, his ability to provide. His woman loses respect for him. She retaliates. He feels that he's less than. He retaliates even more so and starts to buy in and feed into his own stereotype and starts to become even angrier. He's bitter. He's frustrated. He takes it out on his woman because he's oppressed and he needs to oppress somebody to make him feel something normal. So he'll oppress his woman. He'll attack his woman. She then says she's had enough. She walks away. She leaves him. And there you go. You got the destruction. That's the problem. So what's the solution? First, you have to be aware of the problem. You have to be aware of the problem, be aware of why. And sometimes it's hard because it's like if you have an issue and you say, you know what, this person is attacking me, this person is this person is doing that. Look at the kid in school that bullies. You know, he's a kid, he's in school, he bullies other kids. 9 times out of 10, when you look deeper at why this child is disruptive, why they're bullying, you'll see that there's problems in the home, that this child is normally being abused. And this is this child's way of lashing out. Of course, you don't give the child, you don't say, okay, well, it's okay, you can bully and you can attack and you can oppress these other kids because you're being, abused at home. You don't say that. But once you become aware, you say, okay, now I need to look at the other issue. You may then go to the parents and say, like, no, what the hell are you doing to this child that makes him react this way, that makes him do this, that makes him lash out? I remember as a kid, before my mom died, I grew up in a household where my mom was very violent in terms of the way she would discipline. So when I would go to school, I would take it out on other kids. And I'd get in trouble all the time for fighting. But it was just my way of saying, okay, well, I can't fight my mom, so I'm going to fight some kids at school. So black men need to understand that you were being played against your sisters. Black women need to understand the position that black man has been placed in to attack you and to hurt you. And you are now also playing your position. It's not about mollycoddling black men. It's not about mollycoddling black women. What it's about is about understanding the reasons behind it, the causes, the effects, how it affects you. Now, what can you do? This is why I say therapy is a very important thing, because it breaks things down to the root. Men generally have a lower threshold for a lot of things. A low threshold of pain, a low threshold for bullshit. A man cheats on a woman. Sometimes a woman will forgive him and he'll like say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then if a woman cheats on a man, he's like, what? Screw that. I'm not having this. There's a lot of low thresholds. We react differently. And the point I'm making is that we need to be aware of the plans. We need to be aware of the issues and we need to heal. We do need to heal. I don't agree with constantly, we talk about the problem. How many times have I sat there and told black men, stop doing this, stop doing that. You can't do this, you can't do that. What do I always say? I always say they're laughing at you. The white man's laughing at you. The white man wants you to do this. They want you to do that. Because I'm hoping that these brothers will go, oh, okay, yeah, he's got a point. Half the time they don't think that I have a point. But I'm not going to dismiss what you've been through and what has made you into the person that you are today. And what has conditioned you into being the person that you are today. But can you be unconditioned? Can you recondition? Can you unlearn? Yes, of course you can. But first you have to want it. Some of these brothers don't care. Some of these sisters don't care. I'm sick and tired of constantly talking about the problems. We know the problem. We're aware of the problem. We see the problem. We're affected by the problem. For some of us, the problems are so deep in our lives that we have no choice. All we see is the problem. Okay, now what are we going to do now? All right, Angel, you just sat here talking for half an hour, 40 minutes, however long, about this problem and that problem, and the cause and effect and the reason behind it, and your belief of it. All right, so what's the solution now, Angel? Brothers need to wake up. And sisters, what I would say, I'm going to be real about it. Things take time. Things take time. I'm not saying, oh, just let them do what they're doing and, just turn a blind eye. I'm not saying that at all. Be aware of the reason why he acts this way, why they do these things. Allow him to lead. Allow him to make the steps in leading. Know that it's going to be a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in the next 5-10 years. It's a journey. It took a process to get us here, and it will take a process to undo all the work. It's not going to happen overnight. Listen, pay attention, see the bigger picture, read and read and read and read and read. Feed your soul, feed your mind, feed your body in a really positive manner so that you're educated about everything that's going on. Sisters, you can speak life into your brothers. I see so many things where there are videos with black men that love black women. How many videos where black women are telling black men, we love you. We see the king in you. We see your potential, but you got to stop hurting us. You got to stop attacking us because this is what they want. And we want you to be what you are. We want you to reach beyond your potential. Very few videos like that. Very few. We sit there talking about, oh, this woman is mollycoddling black men or she's caping for black men. Where? How many? Why do I make the videos I do and why do I say the things that I say to black women? Because I know that it's needed. I know that black women need to feel loved. I know that black women need to feel that they are understood, that they can have somebody that understands them and can voice some of their feelings and can address the brothers. You're not going to wake everybody up. Some people are gone. Some people are so asleep they're in a coma. They're not going to wake up. You got to let them go. Some people, they've been so conditioned and so brainwashed that there's no going back. And they like the beef. They like the drama. They like the disconnect. They like it. Black men do need to lead. Black men do need to take a stance and do need to move forward and do need to say, I'm not going to be controlled by these mental chains that I have on me. We're going to look at money. We're going to look at how we can build. We're going to look at how we can build together. Because in order for me to protect you, we're now looking at money. Can I protect you financially? Can I provide for you? We have to start building for each other financially. You know how they say, when you look better, you feel better. You know, you have a fresh haircut and you feel good. Ladies, you have on nice clothes, you got your hair done, you feel good, look good, feel good. When you know that financially things are taken care of and you don't have to worry about money, you don't have to rely on anybody, you don't have to worry about not upsetting the white man or the white woman because you can take control of your own community. You won't care about their standards, their beauty standards. And we can say, oh, but they're not going to let us do that. They're not going to let us do it. They're not going to let us do that. Yeah, if we continuously say, well, they're going to stop us, they're going to stop us at every point. I've been stopped so many times, but you know what I keep doing? I keep trying. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Yes, we have to make better decisions with the men and women that we interact with, better decisions with the men and women that we date, that we get into relationships with, that we sleep with. We also have to look at ourselves and be better people for ourselves. We're conditioned. We're so conditioned with the problems and we're so affected by the problems that we can't see past the problems. We can't see past the anger. We can't see past the hatred. And we're like, we're not angry, we're not hateful, we're frustrated. Yes, we are frustrated. This is literally part of the plan. Question that I want to ask is, black men, what do you want? Black women, what do you want? I can probably answer these questions for you because I feel like I've seen these answers so many times. I could be completely wrong, but every time I see it, black women constantly say they want black men to treat them with respect. They want black men to love them. They want black men to protect them. They want black men to treat them better. They want black men to put them on the pedestal that they should be placed upon. They just want love. They want to feel loved by their own men. And then when you say black men, what do you want? What do you want black men from black women? And sometimes you have some black men will say what they want. They may turn around to you and say, and the way it comes across is like they just want you to be like, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags, all of this. But black men, what do you want? And ultimately, you'll find that most of the things that black men want are essentially the same things. They want black women to show them respect, to treat them as a king. They want black women to love them. They want black women to not undermine them, etc., etc., etc. But then you break down all the things you want and say, okay, how do you achieve it? So black men, you want black women to respect you. You got to give them something to respect, and they'll respect you. Black men, you want black women to love you. You got to love them in return. You got to show them that you're also worthy of being loved because you love them, and they'll love you back. You want black women to let you lead. Black women have had no option but to protect themselves, to defend themselves, to be strong for themselves. They're not letting you lead because some black men have just not shown that they're capable. So you got to show that you're capable. You got to prove that you're capable, and they're going to let you lead because once they see that you're leading, they say, okay. Some black women, they want to lead with you. They want to be a 50-50. They want to be, want to work together as a unit. And some black women are more than happy to let you lead if they feel that you are capable and that you're not going to lead them into a burning building. Black women. Yes, you want black men to protect you. You want them to defend you. You got to also give them the opportunity to do these things. I'm going to be very real on it because, I'm listening to myself talk as I say things, and I was like, well, it seems like I'm putting the onus more now on black men. Black men, you need to do all these things, and then black women will let you do these things, and then you'll receive this from black women. And of course, yes, the onus is on black men. I'm sorry, but the onus is on black men. The onus is on us. How can the onus not be? If I want to be a leader, what, am I going to rely on people to let me be the leader? No, I'm going to lead. I'm going to prove that I'm going to lead. Let's say I want to start a YouTube channel and I haven't proven that I'm worthy of being subscribed to. You don't just come and subscribe to me. I got to show you that I'm worthy of being subscribed to. You're going to subscribe to me because I put out the content. I put out the content. You see that I know what I'm talking about. And you say he's worthy of me subscribing to. That analogy works in the same way. How can I be a leader and how can I expect you to let me lead when I'm not showing you that I can even lead? And leading is not about being autocratic, not about being a tyrant. It's not about that. In order for you to let me lead, I have to prove to you. I have to prove to you that I can lead. I got to make the steps. I got to make the strides right now. I got to push. I got to do. When you step up as a leader, you don't say, by the way, can I lead, please? Can I lead? Even people that have been appointed as leaders, they were appointed because they showed that they could lead. You got to show that you can lead. And if you think leading is about getting some sort of accolades from your cohorts and your acquaintances by bashing and attacking black women, that's not leading. That's just a little group of angry old men. You're not leading. If I said to you, sisters, this is what we're doing. These are the things that I'm going to do. And you know what, my sisters? I'm showing you that I'm willing to do this myself. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing it. Are you going to follow me? If you think that I'm telling the truth and you think that I'm giving you facts and you think that my actions are speaking louder than my words, you know what you're going to do? You're going to follow. Whether you even want to or not, you're just going to follow. You're going to be like, whoa, I got this just works. This works. Yes, of course, there are women that are leaders. There are women that have fought and women that have played integral roles. In regards to that, brothers, if you see a sister is powerful and you see a sister can speak life and a sister in herself is a natural leader, you don't got to shut her down. You don't got to feel threatened by her. Lead with her. If she's a better leader than you, then support her, push her, work together. And I feel that way. Sometimes we're so threatened by women. We're so threatened by thinking that, oh, they're taking my position. And this is supposed to be, because you get that. Some men, you have the whole, oh, she makes more money than me. I feel less than, and I can't date a woman that makes more money. Okay, maybe you can't. That's fine. But doesn't she make you want to be a better person? If my woman makes more money than me, I don't sit there and go, yeah, well, she makes more money than me. It kind of sucks. Or, well, I'm just going to let her make more money than me. Do you know what I'm going to do? That drives me to want to reach a higher level. If my woman's doing X, Y, and Z, oh, hell no, I can do that too. But you still have to feed each other with positivity. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you have the power. Yes, it's in you. Yes, we're going to undo the process. A lot of healing, a lot of responsibility. When black men say, well, ladies, you got to allow us to lead. This is where I disagree when the brothers say, you got to allow us to lead. You got to allow us to do that. Allow me to? I'm going to do it regardless. I'm going to do this regardless. Whether you follow or not is down to you. I'm going to do what I have to do regardless. Brothers, think about how you're being used as a pawn, how your power has purposely been removed from you. And it took a process to get us here. And it's going to take a process to remove us from this. I don't know about you guys. I'm sick of the problem. I'm sick of the issues. I'm sick of the drama. I just want solutions. If I have a broken arm, I don't want to keep complaining about my broken arm. I don't want my arm to stay broken. I want my arm to heal. How do I let my arm heal? Oh, you got to put it in the cash. You got to leave it. You got to do this. Okay. We need to put forward the solutions. We know the reasons. We know the problems. A lot of us know the cause and effects. From now on, I swear to God, all I want to hear is solutions. I can bang on the beast all day long and I can tell you what white supremacists do and I can tell you what they're doing. I can tell you where we're going wrong. I can do all that. And I can say black men are doing this and black women are doing that and black men aren't doing this and black women aren't doing that. But you know what? Where's the solutions? I can tell you why you're poor. I can tell you why you're not successful. But if I don't tell you how to become successful, if I don't tell you what to do in order to no longer be poor, then there's no point. Sisters, do you go to a dating coach or relationship coach because he tells you what men do wrong? Or do you go to him so that you can learn how to pick better men, how to date better men, how to get a better man, how to stop picking wrong men? Why do you go to that dating coach? Think about it. If you feel that you are a leader in the community, if you feel that you're a voice in the community, yes, we'll speak on the problems, but now what's the solution? At the end of every problem you talk about should be a solution. Peace, love, and coconut oil.
Hey man, that's racist. Please remember that from now on, brand new never before seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a Black-owned, Black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at angel_IKYG.